Ladies and gentlemen, will you please put your hands together and welcome onto poolside, led by your president, Johnny Warrington, your officials for session 3. Ladies and gentlemen, your officials for session 3. And your announcer and commentator for session 3, Mr. Peter Bays.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third session of this first weekend. A few events to get through. We've got the girls 200 and the boys 200. I am the two to go through. We've got 13 heats for the girls and then 12 heats for the boys. So just a reminder, if the coaches and team managers can make sure that their swimmers are at the marshalling area in good time for their heats, that will be helpful. So for those of you who are watching this on the live feed, hope you're enjoying the swimming today and will enjoy this evening's events as well. Very exciting in the pool here. We've got a lot of lighting and other effects going on which make it into a much more enjoyable gala for the swimmers, a bit different from the normal ones. And if I could just remind you that age group medals are available this evening to be collected from the medal table. It's behind the word Hertfordshire on the blue band on the far side of the pool. They're going to be presented by our ASA President, Janet Warrington. She's the Swim England Hertfordshire President, apologies, and she's there to present the medals to those people who came first, second and third in their age groups. So do please check the medals, check the results, and if you've won medals, well done. Do go and get them from the people at the medal table as soon as you can, so they don't have a whole pile of them left at the end of the evening. And this is heat one of 13 heats of the girls 10 years and over 200 metres individual medley. So the lineup we have in this, we've got Tia Gregory in lane 1. She's 11 years old. Lane 2 is Sophie Hollis, who's 11. 3, Kirsty Nill, who's 12. 4, Rianne Manella, who's 11. And lane 5, Morgan Slade, 12. Lane 6, Hannah Cushion, who's 12. And then 2 more 11-year-olds, Isabella Pecci in 7 and Nicole Vesser in lane 8. Entry times ranging from about 3:36 up to the fastest entrant here, Rianne Manella in lane 4 at 3:11. Coming up to the 100-metre split, halfway, very, very close between Hannah in 6 and Rianne in lane 4 as they turn. See turn time at 41 seconds for Hannah in lane 6 in the lead, just in the lead from Rianne Manella. Looking good on the backstroke too, but also coming up strongly now in lane 3. Is Kirsty Nill, who turns first. Great backstroke leg by her. Turns at 65 seconds, but still right up with her is Rianne Manella in lane 4 and Hannah Cushion in 6, but still in the lead at the moment. It's Kirsty Nill. Going into the back to breast at 1:26, the leader. Kirsty going well on the backstroke. 1:29 for Rianne in 4 and Sophie in 2. 1:29 also for lane 6 Hannah Cushion. Then 1:31, 1:33s and 1:41. Last turn in, Nicole Vesser, 11-year-old in lane 6, but now turning first in the lead. Lane 4, Rianne Manella. Sorry, chasing after Kirsty in lane 3. Kirsty having a great breaststroke in lane 3, Bishop Storm for swimmer. And this is going to be a final discipline change into the freestyle. 2:16 with just 2 lengths of free to go. 2:17.42 the official turn there. And turning behind her at 2:22 and 2:24 for Hannah Cushion. 2:27 Sophie Hollis and 2:27 also for Morgan Slade 2:31 for Isabella Pecce, lane 7, turning there. Tia turns at 2:40, and then 2:44, Nicole. A leader though with 5 metres to go. She had an entry time, Kirsty, of 3:13. 12-year-old comes forward, touches at 2:57. Well done, well under 3 minutes. Great sprint coming in now in lane 2 from Sophie Hollis after Rianne Manella. Rianne catches in second, 2:3:06, and then 3:07 for Sophie Hollis. 3:08. Anna Cushion, who did very well there too, and 3:10. Isabella Pecce, and then 3:11. Next to touch there was Trings and Morgan Slade in heat lane 5. Lane 1 just touching, it's 3:28 for Stevenage's Tia Gregory, and to 3:34, so that's inside her entry time, and then finally there 3:34 for Chessen's Nicole Vasseur. And this is heat 2 of the girls' 200 metres individual medley. Stand down please, Summers, stand down please. And here too we got Eddie Horton in lane 1, who's 12 years old from Tring. Lane 2 is Maya Shackle, who's 12 from Watford. Lane 3, Gabriela Gomez Pavon, who's 12 from Potters Bar. In fact, the whole of this race is 12 years old looking down the sheet. Lane 4, Ava Black, who's the fastest entrant from St Albans, entered at 3:06.45. Lane 5 is S. Harrison Mahon, who, for the S's I'm afraid, from St Albans. She's entered at 3:07. Lane 6 is Erin Younger, who's from St Albans. 7 is Phoebe Matthews from Hatfield, and lane 8 is Verity Billingham, who's from Tring. First to turn, 38 seconds. There was Maya Shekel from Watford. Right behind her is Gabrielle, who turned at 40.13, and then 41.88 for lane 5 behind those. Very close on the backstroke, 2 leaders, a little bit clear at the moment. In just going to the front now in lane 3 is Gabriella. Follows behind to the 3:08, looking very, very good on the backstroke. Also going well, Mayer in lane 2 still, and now in lane 5 going well is Harrison Morrow, who's very close, but into the second half, into the breaststroke. And still looking good on the breaststroke, Gabriella in the lead. Remember, these are all 12-year-olds, so they're all swimming in the same age group. Turning up to 150. But now coming through well on the breaststroke as well. Catching up in lane 4, Ava Black. 4 and 5 getting much closer together now. They've overtaken Mayer in lane 2. But it is still in the lead. Just the free to come. Gabriella enters 3:08. She's at 2:17 with just 50 metres of freestyle to come. 2:22s for the chasing pair, very close together. And a good breaststroke also there in lane 7 by Phoebe Matthews from Hatfield. Leader turns 2:37. Looking very good on the freestyle. This is going to be a good swim. Remember, Gabrielle entered at 3:08.72. She's going to be way under 3 minutes if she keeps this in. What a great swim. Winning time, 2:56.15. Great fast swim in the freestyle by Ava, touching second in 3:02, and then third touch there. Phoebe Matthews did very well on the freestyle as well. Comes in at 3:04, good to 3:10. This is heat 3 of the girls' 200 metres individual medley. The lineup of this heat is Grace Lockwood is in lane 1. Grace is 12 from Hatfield, and we've got a whole row of 12-year-olds and just two 11-year-olds in lanes 7 and 8. The rest are all 12. So in lane 2 is Kira Ingram, who is from St Albans. Lane 3, Alice Longman, who is from Bishop Stortford. 4, Camille Vanier, who's from Hatfield. Lane 5, Chloe Costa from Hatfield. Lane 6 is Anya Dunwoody, who's from St Albans. And then the two 11-year-olds in 7, Angelica Laskate, who's from Watford. And Alexandra Yevesley is in lane 8 from Hatfield. 38.9, first to turn is Alice Longman in the lead, but 39.35 right behind her. Looking good on the backstroke is Camille as well. She's coming through in lane 4. And it is Camille who turns first and also going well on the backstroke. Grace Lockwood in lane 1. And Grace is trying to get up on terms with Alice Longman in lane 3. So good backstroke here from Angelica in lane 7, Alexandra in lane 8, they've come through too, but still in the lead in lane 4. Camille Vanier from Hatfield turns at 1:23, she's entered at 2:59, so that's looking good. 1:26 is a whole row of 1:26 lanes 3, 8, 1 and 7 are all on 1:26, so this is a very close race at the moment. But still holding on to a lead. Camille Vanier of Hatfield in lane 4. Who turns first at halfway, but actually now, very good breaststroke from Angelica in 7 and Alexandra in lane 8. They're going very well. Angelica just coming through, and she's going right up now into 3rd place. That's a great swim on the breaststroke. Still going well on the far side from me, Grace Lockwood in lane 1. But now look how close this is between Alice Longman in 3 and Camille Vanier in 4. Absolutely together as they turn into the final lengths of the 2 lengths of freestyle. 2:16, both of them. 2:18 from Angelica, had a great breaststroke. 2:19 also from Alexandra, had a good breaststroke. 2:22, Grace Lockwood with, and at the same time as Anya Dunwoody in lane 6. Leader turns, lane 3 moving clear, Alice Longman. Bishop Stortford looks by far the strongest on the freestyle. Coming clear now. Alice got an entry time of 3 minutes. 0.75, so she's come ahead and finish ahead of Camille. And Alice touches first in 2:54.25. Camille 2:56.52. Very, very close behind. Just getting there. 2:59. A good final half from Angelica in lane 7. And this is heat 4 of the girls' 200 metres individual medley. So a mixture of 12 and 13-year-olds in this. We've got Eva Glenn in lane 1, who is 12 from Hatfield. Lane 2 is Chloe Simpson, who's 13 from Watford. Lane 3, Alexandra Braniff, who's 13 years old from Watford. Lane 4, Charlie Maley, 13-year-olds from Tring. Lane 5 is Amy Harper, who's 12 from Watford. Then 3 13-year-olds, Jamie Wardell in lane 6 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 7 is Francesca Arani, who's from Harpenden and Hatfields. Emma Josser is in lane 8. 37.22 first to turn. It's Charlie Maley from Tring, and Francesca is also right up there as well. But it's at the moment it's lanes 3 and 4 just in the lead, Alexandra and Charlie. Alexandra going well on the backstroke, just getting right up to Charlie's shoulder. And now coming through well on the backstroke as well. Francesca Rani in lane 7, who was there at the turn. Coming up to the back to breast turn. And it's going to be Alexandra's going to turn ahead of Charlie, and then Francesca. 120.75, 120.184, 122.6. 124's next to turn is Amy Harper, and then 125's for both Jamie in 6 and Imola in lane 8. 126 into the breaststroke for Chloe, and then 127 for Eva. But looking good on the breaststroke as well in lane 3. Alexandra Braniff still just ahead of Charlie, but now coming through strongly on the breaststroke with Lajosa in lane 8. Up onto Francesca's shoulder. Looking very good on the breaststroke, and also 2 or 3 breaststrokers looking good in the pool, but still pulling out just a little bit lead now. Maybe 1.5 meters in the lead. It's going to be Alexandra ahead of Charlie into the freestyle. Alexandra goes in at 2.12. Charlie at 2.14, 2.15. Good breaststroke leg from Imola Josa in lane 8. Bring her up into 3rd place, 4th place on that turn there. Chloe Simpson now at 2.16. But our leader again looking good on the free in lane 3. Alexandra turns 2.32 with just 1 length of freestyle to go. Very good freestyle from Imola Josa in lane 8. She's digging in very, very hard. Got herself up into 2nd place, but very close behind. Big fast finish coming in from Chloe Simpson as well in lane 2. And also in lane 5, Amy Harper. But winning time, 2:50.25. First to touch there, Alexandra Braniff. And she entered at 2.56, so good time. 2.53.75 second for Imola Josa, 2.54 third for Amy Harper, and a good freestyle leg. Heat 5 of the girls' 200 metres individual medley. And in this one in lane 1 we've got Tia Patel, who is the fastest 12-year-old entered in the event at 2.54. She's from Potters Bar. Lane 2, Isabel Tood is 14 from Watford. 3 is Ava Lawson, who's 11 from Berkhamsted. And she is the fastest 11-year-old entered in the event at 2.53.6. Lane 4 is Jessica Warren, who's 14 from Watford, and 2 more 14-year-olds in lane 5, Sophie Ledger from Hatfield. Lane 6, Isabella Matthews from Hatfield. Lane 7, Izzy Short, 14 from Hoddesdon, and then finally a 13-year-old, lane 8, Jessica Bright from Potters Bar. 35.75 first in the turn at the end of the fly is Isabel Toon. Got a good lead, and going after her in the backstroke at the moment, lane 5 is Sophie Ledger from Hatfield. And she's leading the chase, but Isabel Toon looks very good on the backstroke too. Sophie now getting caught by, alongside her, Isabella Matthews in lane 6. She's having a good backstroke leg, and also coming through very strongly is Izzy Short in lane 7, catching the others after starting more slowly, but it's a blanket turn. In the lead we've got 1:18 for Isabella Toon, and then everyone else is just on the 1:20, 1:21 mark. So 1:24 last to turn there, Jessica Bright, but the others are all in the race here. In lane 2, Isabel Toon from Watford, looking good on the breaststroke. And Isabel being chased by lane 4, Jessica Warren, her teammate. And Jessica is looking very good on the breaststroke, very strong. And she's up to Isabel's shoulder and now starting to just go into the lead. Great breaststroke also in lane 7. Izzy Short now come up into 3rd place, just overtaking in lane 3, Eva Lawson. But it's going to be first to turn. It's going to be Jessica Ward from Watford, turns at 2:06. Next to turn, 2:09 for her teammate Isabel Toon. And then the third to turn, the 2:09. Izzy Short came right through on the breaststroke and got just ahead of Eva Lawson. This looks a much closer race than the previous ones. We've got Isabel in 2, Jessica in 4. And now stroke for stroke as they come through with only 15 metres to go. Isabel in 2, Jessica in 4, teammates. Jessica just starting to ease ahead, digging in hard. Isabel's responded though. And coming into the last 2 strokes, it's going to be right on the fingertips as they touch. 2:45.14, 2:45.19. Jessica Ward just getting the touch there. 500ths ahead of Isabel Toon. What a great race. 2:47.64. Great swim there in 3rd place for Eva Lawson coming through to get ahead of Izzy Short. Heat 6 of the girls' 200 metres individual medley. A mixture of 13, 14, 15-year-olds here. They're all 13 apart from 15-year-old in lane 4 and a 14-year-old in lane 5. In lane 1 we've got Abigail Perez, who's 13 from Berkhamsted. Lane 2 is Florence Crowley, who's 13 from Harpenden. 3 is Neva Mara, who's 13 from Watford. Lane 4, Bruna Rebello, who's 15 from Hertford. Fastest entry in this heat at 2:48. Lane 5, Jasmine Brackenbury, who's 14 from Hitchin. And lane 6, Megan Morley, 13 from Watford. The other 2 are 13. Lane 7 is Holly Morgan from Hoddesdon, and lane 8 is Olivia Riley from Hatfield. 34.73 at the end of the fly for Bruna, who is the fastest entrant. Looking good on the backstroke, but also up there now Holly Morgan in lane 7. Holly looking good on the backstroke too. And also on the far side from me, Florence in 2 and Abigail looking good too in lane 1. Still in the lead though. In lane 4. Bruna. Bruna's still in the lead, but it's coming through now in 2nd place. Holly Morgan from Hoddesdon in lane 7. Had a very good backstroke leg indeed. And she's about half a metre clear of Jasmine. First to turn though there into the breaststroke 1:16 is Bruna. Then 1:19 for Holly Morgan. Then 1:20s for Abigail in 1 and Florence in 2. Then 1:21s for 5, 8 and 3 all in a row. She's still leading, led from the very start. Bruna in lane 4. But now, coming up behind her on the breaststroke, Jasmine Brackenbury having a good breaststroke from Hitchin in lane 5. And also coming through strongly is Megan Morley in lane 6, having a very good breaststroke, right up onto Holly Morgan's shoulders. But Bruna turns 2:06 with 50 metres of freestyle to go. 2:07 for right behind her. Jasmine Brackenbury, 2:09 for Holly in 7 and Megan in 6, absolutely together, and 2:10 right behind those for Olivia Riley, who's going well. 2:11 in lane 2, Florence Crowley. And this is really close. Look at this now in the lead, just going the front after 1 length of the free. Jasmine Brackenbury. Jasmine in lane 5 goes to the front. And Bruna's not able to respond. And also coming through now is Megan Morley. And in the outside lane, Olivia Riley from Hatford having a great swim in lane 8. Second half, but first to touch, Jasmine touches him 2:45.3. And she had an entry time of 2:49, so great swim. 2:48.34 second to touch was Bruna Rebello, and 2:48.49 third. Florence Crowley had a good finish there. Notice of disqualification, I'm afraid, event 129, heat 5, lane 5, and event 129, heat 5, lane 6. So it's event 129, heat 5, lanes 5 and 6, both disqualified for technical infractions. This is heat 7 of the 200 metres individual medley. And in heat 7 we've got a line-up of Lucinda Stanley in lane 1, she's 15 from Hertfordshire. Lane 2, Amy Borum, who's 13, swimming in for Watford here. Then 3 is Olivia Kavanagh, 14 from Potters Bar. Lane 4, Molly Brundle, 15 from Royston, fastest entrant in this heat at 2:45. Lane 5, Emma Craig, 15 from Harpenden, got a very similar entry time. Lane 6, Grace Corley, who's 13 from Hemel Hempstead. Lane 7, a 14-year-old, Evie Brown from Watford, and lane 8 is Eldie Dunwoody, who's 15 from St Albans. 35.53, very good fly by Molly in lane 4. Second to turn at 36 was Emma Craig in lane 5, and then 37, Potters Bar's Olivia Cameron in lane 3, so all in the middle of the pool. Now going well on the backstroke is Lucinda in lane 1. Going into the front though, it's Emma Craig from Harpenden in lane 5. Actually, you've got a good turn. Molly got a good better turn off the wall. You can see the difference in the water. Emma's faster, but Molly got a great turn. So Emma is going to turn first into the breaststroke at 1:14, on at 1:16. Very, very close behind. Turning the far side at 1:20. In lane 1, that was Lucinda. Odd turn. But in the lead now, halfway along the breaststroke. Emma Craig from Harpenden. And Emma's entry time is 2:45.98. She's having a cracking breaststroke leg. But alongside her so also is Molly Brundle and from Royston, who led off well in the fly in the back. And also on the breaststroke going well. Lucinda Stanley over in lane 1 and Evie Brown in lane 7 coming through very strongly. 2:03 with 53 to go for Emma Craig, and in 2:06 Molly Brundle. 2:10, third to turn, there's Evie Brown in lane 7, and just ahead of Harpenden's Lucinda Stanley in lane 1, it turns to 2:11, and then 2:11 also for Potters Bar's Olivia Kavanagh in lane 3. But our leader pulling away, looking very good on the freestyle in lane 5. Emma Craig. Emma's entry time, 2:45.98. Let's look at the clock. It's quite a bit clear. And she goes 2:40.32, 5 seconds off of her entry time. 2:42.76 for Molly Brundle. 3 seconds inside hers. Great final length there. 2:48, third to touch, Lucinda Stanley from Harpenden, 15-year-old, entered 2:47. Last few strokes for Eldie. And she comes in to complete that heat. This is heat 8 of the girls' 200 metres individual medley. And in heat 8 the lineup is Tamsin Moran in lane 1, who's 14 from Berkhamsted. Lane 2, 13-year-old Kirsty Fuger, who's from Hatfield. Lane 3, Antonia Chubb is 14 from Hatfield. Lane 4, Hannah Brooke, 14 from St Albans. Lane 5 is Katie Jeffrey, who's 15 from Hatfield, and the rest are 15 as well. In lane 6 is Helen Stafford from St Albans. 7 is Caitlin Hartley from Hatfield. And lane 8 is Catherine Ryan from Hoddesdon. Leading the way, fastest entrant, Hannah Brooke, entered 2:42, splits at 33.97, 34.42 right behind her. Hatfield's Kirsty Fuger in 2, and then 34.73 third to turn at the fly was Helen Stafford in lane 6. Still looking good on the backstroke, Hannah in the lead, but now it's Helen Stafford just ahead now of Kirsty, and now coming through also well on the backstroke is Katie Jeffrey in lane 5. Catching up with these. But first to turn will be Hannah, who turns in 1:14.37. Very, very close behind her, 1:16, 1.65, 1:16.77 from Kirsty in lane 2, Helen in lane 6, and third into the breaststroke. Helen Stafford in fourth in the breaststroke, rather, that was Katie Jeffrey in lane 5 from Hatfield. But on the breaststroke, still in the lead, Hannah Brooke. Down into the second length of breaststroke, and now up into second place. Helen Stafford clearly there. In lane 6, but coming through strongly now, Katie Jeffrey in 5, and also in lane 2, Kirsty Fusion looking very strong too. So 4 swimmers going to be very close. Just in the lead, Hannah Brooke, 2:01.81. The others 2:02, 2:03 right behind her. Kelly Hartley, 2:04. She had a good breaststroke too in lane 7. But on the freestyle, it's lane 6 turning first at halfway. Helen Stafford from St Albans. And Helen with now just ahead of Hannah Brooke in 4. These two just a little bit clear. 3 swimmers in a row behind her. It's just being led at the moment by Kirsty Fuger, but it's going to be Helen Stafford who takes this at a time of 2:38.03, 2:39.11. Second to touch was Hannah Brooke, and in third place to touch there, 2:40.90. Caitlin Hartley in lane 7 for Hatfield. More notes of disqualification, event 129, heat 7, lane 1, event 129, heat 7, lane 1, disqualified for a technical infraction. This is heat 9 of the girls' 200 metres individual medley. In heat 9, we've got Lucy Kybell in lane 1, who is 14 from St Albans, and 3 more 14-year-olds. In lane 2 is Georgia Pritchard, who is 14 from Hatfield. Lane 3, Bella Parkus, who's 14 from Hoddesdon. Lane 4, Gemma Nottage, who's 14 from Watford. And then we have a 13-year-old in lane 5, Charlotte Williams from Cheshunt. In lane 6 is Dana Shepherdson, who's 14 from Potters Bar. 15-year-old Abby Larkman in lane 7 is from Hoddesdon, and then Sophia Pecci in lane 8 is 14 from Watford. 34.9 first to turn was Abby Larkman in lane 7, but pretty much a blanket turn there. Dana just slightly behind on the fly, but the rest are pretty close. And it's still just in the lead. Abby Larkman in lane 7, but going very well is Gemma in lane 4 and Charlotte in lane 5. These three are going to turn pretty much together at the end of the backstroke. In fact, they're going to be absolutely together. And they will turn just on the 1:15 mark. 1:16, right behind them is Bella Parkus, and then also on 1:16.8 is Lucy Quire-Bell. Now, easing out on the breaststroke, very powerful breaststroke from Lucy in lane 1, and also from Georgia Pritchard, Hatfield in lane 2. And they're now starting to catch the leaders. Gemma in 4, and over in 7, Abby Larkman. They're still there, but coming through very powerfully. Georgia Pritchard in lane 2. And Georgia is going to be right up there with Abby and Gemma as they go into 3. In fact, she's going to go in the lead. Excellent breaststroke. Turns at 2:01, 2:02. 2:02 right behind her for Gemma, and then 2:03, Abby Larkman. 2:05 going into the freestyle for Bella Parkus. Also had a good breaststroke. 2:06 is for Lucy Quire-Bell and Charlotte Williams, who dropped back just a little bit on the breaststroke. Don't forget, she's the youngest in this heat, the Cheshunt swimmer in lane 5. But coming through powerfully on the freestyle. Gemma Nottage going after Georgia Pritchard, but Georgia is looking very good. Georgia's going to hang on to this. Let's see her time as she touches. It's 2:38.37, 239.19 for Gemma, 244 Abby, 0.16, 242. Fourth to touch there was Bella Parkus, right on her entry time, exactly. Now the notes of disqualification, event 129, heat 8, lane 2, event 129, heat 8, lane 2, disqualified for a technical infraction. And this is heat 10 of the 200 metres individual medley. And your line-up in this one, we've got Amelia Dunwoody, 14 from St Albans in lane 1. Lane 2, 16-year-old Rosie Kay from Tring. 3 is Neve Kelly, 15 from Hatfield. 4, Libby McGill, who's 16 from Hatfield. Lane 5, Katie Lane, 13 from Costa. Lane 6 is Alice Richardson, 16 from Costa. 7, Eleanor Craig, 15 from Watford. Lane 8 is Kia Phillips, who's 13 years old from Bishop Stortford. She's the second fastest 13-year-old in the event. 34.38. First to turn there is Neve Kelly from Hatfield in lane 3. Very close between 2, 3 and 4 at the moment. And also lane 8. Kaya Phillips, who managed to swim right into the wall there, but she's swimming very well on the backstroke, but now coming through strongly. Eleanor Craig as well. And Eleanor Craig in lane 7 is having a great second length of backstroke. She's now going to turn in the lead in lane 7. Excellent backstroke. Turns into the breast at 1:14.94. 1:15.65, 1:15.98.99. Right behind her, Karen in lane 8, and then Neve in lane 3. And Rosie in lane 2. Slightly different on the breaststroke. It's Neve Kelly from Hatfield now going back into the lead on the breaststroke, just ahead of Eleanor Craig, who's going well in lane 7. But Neve looks the stronger breaststroker. Good breaststroke in the middle of the pool, coming through from Katie Lane, and also Alice Richardson going very, very well, but turning into the freestyle. 2:01 in the lead. Neve Kelly ahead of Hatfield's Eleanor Craig. Turns at 2:02, and then Alice Richardson right up there in third place now. In the lead, just coming into turn, 2:19 with 25 metres of free to go. Neve Kelly in the lead in lane 3. Comfortably up in the second place now. Great freestyle by Eleanor Craig from Watford. Eleanor's going extremely well, being chased inside lane 6 by Alice Richardson, having a great freestyle too. But it's going to be Neve Kelly touching first. 2:37.33, 2:38.25. Second to touch there, Eleanor Craig in lane 7. And then third in lane 6, 2:39.89 is Alice Richardson. Heat 11 of the girls' 200 metres individual medley. And in Heat 11, the lineup is lane 1, Jessica Robertson, who is 15 from City of St Albans, and 3 more 15-year-olds alongside her. Lane 2 is Ellie Hollis from St Albans. Lane 3, Jessica Keogh, who is from Hatfield. Lane 4, Isabella Chapman, who is from Harpenden. And 2 16-year-olds in 5 and 6 together. Lucy King in 6 from Hitchin, and Daisy Sandon in 7 from Stevenage. And then 2 more 15-year-olds completing all the 15-year-olds. Freya Harwood in 7 from Hitchin, and Kira Beaver in lane 8 from Watford. 32.64. Isabella Chapman first to turn. She's the fastest entrant in this. But 33 behind her for Freya, and then Daisy Sandon did well. But going extremely well on the backstroke, Ellie Hollis in lane 2. But better turn there by Jessica in lane 3. And Jessica getting a better turn on the backstroke, coming off the wall well, looking good, and also going well on the backstroke. Lane 6 is Daisy Sandon. Coming up to the back to breast, 110.59 for Jessica. 112, second to turn is Ellie Hollis, ahead of Jessica Robertson in lane 1, and then Isabella Chapman in lane 4. It's getting a lot closer. There's good breaststroke by Ellie Hollis in lane 2, and also excellent breaststroke in lane 4 by Isabella Chapman from Harpenden. And Isabella goes to the front, ahead of Jessica. And now also coming through very quickly is Lucy King. And Lucy's having a very good breaststroke too in lane 5. And Lucy's up into second place now. Excellent leg. 155.85 for Isabella Chapman. First to turn. Two turn absolutely together. Jessica in lane 3 and Lucy in lane 5. And then behind those got Watford's Kira Beaver in lane 8, had a good leg too. But now coming up to final turn. In lane 4, Isabel Chapman from Harpenden. Isabel's the fastest entrant in this. She's got an entry time of 2:35.2, so let's keep an eye on the time, see where she comes. Going to be way inside that. Great swim behind her by Jessica. It's going to take second, but the winning time, 2:31.51. Jessica taking second in 2:33.39 and 2:34.49. Third there was Ellie Hollis. Another notice of disqualification, event 129, heat 10, lane 1. Event 129, heat 10, lane 1 disqualified for a technical infraction. This is the penultimate heat 12 of the 200 metres individual medley. So just one heat to come after this one. No finals for this, so Isabella Uvesley is in lane 1. She's 13, fastest 13-year-old entrant, and she's from Hatfield, entered 2:35.15. Lane 2 was Nellie Easton, who's 17 from Richard Stortford. Lane 3 is Ella Murphy, who's 17 from Harpenden. And the fastest 14-year-old entered in the event is the fastest in this heat, Valeria Giron in lane 4, and she's from Hatfield. Lane 5 is Chloe Burker-Boating, who's 16 from Hatfield. Lane 6, Anastasia Wilkinson, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 7 is Harriet Clements, who is 15 from Watford. Lane 8 is Francesca Pecci, who's 16 from Watford. So Harriet in lane 7 is the fastest 15-year-old, and to 2:34. So fastest 13-year-old, 14-year-old and 15-year-old are all in this heat. But we'll see if they are the fastest at the end, and at the moment in the lead. In lane 5 on the backstroke, it's Chloe Burger-Boating from Hatfield, ends at 2:31, and she's having a good backstroke. But coming through also is Harriet Clements now, up to there, and Chloe turns first, 1:11, and you've got a whole row of 1:11s there. Harriet, and lane 5 is Chloe Burger-Boating. But now strong on the breaststroke. Nellie Easton from Bishop Stortford coming through as well. Chloe turns just in the lead and just ahead of Valeria in lane 4 and Nellie in lane 2. And also between them we've got Ella Murphy going well too from Harpenden. And coming up well also in lane 7, Harriet Clemens, still hanging in there, but in the lead still, Chloe Berger-Boateng. She's going to turn into the freestyle first, 156.14, 156.89, second behind her is Nelly Easton now. 157's absolutely together, Ella in 3 and Valeria in 4, and 158 right behind them is Harriet Clemens in 7. Big sprint, but it looks at the moment like Chloe's got the power to move clear. She's pulled out around about 1.5 meters. But they're going after her. Chloe in the lead. Looks like she's going to hang on to this, but right behind her, Valeria Gill and her teammate. And then behind them, we've got Ella Murphy. But Chloe touches first, 2:30.62 for Chloe Berger-Boateng. And she heads at 2:31, so it's good time. 2:31.68. Second was Valeria Gill, and then third to touch, 2:32. Was Ella Murphy. Another notes of disqualification, I'm afraid, event 129, heat 11, lane 7. Event 129, heat 11, lane 7, disqualified for a technical infraction. This is the 13th and final heat of the girls' 200 meters individual medley. So we got the fastest entrance in this final heat, and the lineup is Sophie Payne in 1, 17 from Hatfield. Lane 2, Louise Fernez, who's 18 from Hatfield. Lane 3, Lily Merritt is 16 from St Albans, and lane 4 is the fastest 16-year-old entered the event, Sarah Kalowska, who's 16 from Hatfield. Lane 5 is Erin O'Mara, who's 16 from Watford. Lane 7 is Millie Fields, who's 15 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 7, Jessica Woodward, 16 from Hatfield. Lane 8, Alice Fender, 18 from Hemel. This is very quick, 31.25, 31.44. Not much to choose there between Sarah and Jessica, very close together. And right behind those in lane 6 is Millie. But leading the way. Absolutely together now. In lanes 4 and 7, Sarah in 4 and Jessica in lane 7 were turned absolutely together, and coming up strongly on Jessica's shoulder, Millie Fields, and also Erin O'Mara is up there as well in 4th place now, ahead of Lily, turning into the breaststroke, 68.17, and 16 and in the lead is Sarah, 69s for lane 6 and 7, Millie and Jessica. But in the lead, still, Sarah Koloska, who's fastest entrant at 2:18. On paper, she's about 3 seconds ahead of the others, but coming up behind her a moment, Watford's Erin O'Mara, and now very good breaststroke from Jessica Woodward. Jessica coming through very powerfully in lane 7, having a great breaststroke legs up there with Millie Fields as well, but it is going to be Sarah who turns into freestyle. 150 in the lead, 150.9. And then 151 for Erin in 5 and Millie in 6. 151 also for Jessica. And then 154 over lane 1, Sophie Payne. Into the last length of the pool now. And in the lead, it's going to be really, really close. In lane 5, we've got Erin. In lane 4, we've got Sarah. These two together. It's Erin just slightly edging clear. Can she get it? Yes, Erin gets there. Well, 2:23.30. Sarah, 2:23.39. 900ths of a second behind. What a great sprint that was at the final length there by Erin. Just get ahead, Sarah. 2 good swims. 2:24.44. Third to touch there was Jessica Woodward. And that's a great race. Well done, swimmers. So that completes the girls' 200 metres individual medley. Final event of today's session is event 130. The boys' 200 metres individual medley. Going to be swum in 12 heats. Reminder to go and collect your medals, please. If you've won medals in the age groups, do please go and collect them. Our Swim England Hertfordshire president, Janet, is over there with a very expensive and pretty gold necklace on. So this is event 130, the boys 200 metres individual medley, heat 1, swimmers in lanes 2 to 7. So line up in this one, in lane 1, 2, we've got Callum Deacon, who's 10 years old from Hertford. Lane 3, Vincent Braniff, who's 11 from Watford. Lane 4, Harry Chapman, who's 12 from Stevenage. Then we've got a 10-year-old in the middle of this lot, Watford's Alexander Fawcett in lane 5. Lane 6 is Daniel Williams, who's 11 from Cheshunt. And Carl Govan in lane 7 is 11 from Stevenage. So 10-year-old in lane 2 and lane 5. 12-year-old in lane 3 and the rest all 11. And coming up to the end of the fly, in the lead is Harry Chapman, turning at 41 seconds, and then 41.92 for Callum, and then Vincent at 41.99. Next touch, 43.47, Daniel Williams in 6, and then 42.5.2 for Carl in lane 7. 46 for Watford's Alexander Fawcett in lane 3. Difference there, got a fast swimmer in the water in lane 4, Harry, with a faster turn there for Vincent in lane 3, and Callum also turned well in lane 2. But it is still just in the lead. Harry Chapman from Stevenage, but now coming right up there, Callum Deacon. Harry, I think, so it's a bit faster in the water, not so good on turns, but he's turning first at 31.16, 31.69 second there was Vincent, and then 132 in lane 4, Harry Chapman, third touch to turn, and then Cheshunt's Daniel Williams is right behind them, and then Carl Govan. Halfway down the breaststroke. And just in the lead now, Vincent Braniff from Watford. He's just gone past Harry Chapman and Callum Deacon. These three just a little bit clear of Alexander, Daniel and Carl in 5, 6 and 7. But it's a good breaststroke from Vincent Braniff, pulling him clear of the chasing pair who are absolutely together. Vincent turns first though at 126 and 127, 128 for Harry, just ahead of Callum going into the freestyle. 230 for Alexander Fawcett, and then 231, 230 for Carl Govan and Daniel Williams. Daniel's now kept picking up well on the freestyle. Still holding on to his lead. Lane 3, Vincent Braniff from Watford. Vincent's entry time of 3:22. If you look at the board, going to smash that. Harry's entry time behind him, 3:19. Going to smash that as well. Vincent touches first, 3:07.68. Great swim. 3:08.23. Second touch there was lane 4, Harry Chapman, and third there in lane 2, 3:12.91 for Callum Deacon. Got 2 notices of disqualification, I'm afraid. Event 129, heat 13, lane 4, and event 129, heat 13, lane 7. So event 129, heat 13, lane 4, and event 129, heat 13, lane 7, both disqualified for technical infractions. This is heat 2 of the men's 200 metres individual medley. So in the second heat, underway now, we've got Nathan Massam, who's 11 from Costa in lane 1. Lane 2 is Jack Gentleman, who is 12 years old from Verulam. 2 11-year-olds. In 3 is Oscar Chaplin from Costa. Lane 4 is Tom Dennis from Harpenden. Lane 5 is Sonny Madison. Sonny is 10 years old from Outfield. Lane 6 is Samuel Jeffrey, who's 12 from Outfield. Lane 7 Kai Fellows, who's 12 from Cheshunt, and another 10-year-old is Ollie Fennick in lane 8 from Verulam. Very good fly, 37.54, quite a way clear of the others in, that's Tom Dennis from Harpenden, 41 seconds behind him for Sonny in lane 5 and Nathan in lane 1. But still turning first in lane 4, Tom Dennis. And behind Tom now is Sonny Madison from Hatfield, who's having good backstroke. And also over in lane 1, Nathan Massam, who's having good backstroke. And Kai Fellows coming through as well from Cheshunt in lane 7, also catching up there with Jack Gentleman, who's there too. So we've got about 3 or 4 of them all together in the lead here. Just leading the way at the moment now, going into the breaststroke. Sonny Madison in lane 5 from Hatfield. Entered he's got 129 at the halfway turn there. And he entered at 3:12. Looking good on the breaststroke. Turns first and he's got himself a metre or so clear now. Still in second place is Tom Dennis, but coming under a lot of pressure now. Lane 6 coming through is Samuel Jeffrey, and also in lane 3, Oscar Chaplin going well, but good breaststroke in the lead here. Sonny Madison from Hatfield, just a free to go, turns at 2:24.23, 2:25.59. Second there was Oscar, and third turn Hatfield Samuel Jeffrey in lane 6 at 2:26. Just ahead at 2:27, Harpenden's Tom Dennis in lane 4. Lane 5 now in behind, lane 1 in lane 5th place behind them rather, that's Nathan Massam. In the lead, in the final length of freestyle, just holding on to his lead, it's Sonny Madison in lane 5. Tom Dennis going after him, and Tom looking very powerful. Sonny hanging on to it, but Tom is closing on him. With just 2 strokes to go, it's going to be very, very close. Sonny hangs on to it, 3:03.37. We'll pick up Tom's time on the backup. It's going to be about 3:04, I would think. 3:07.30. Third to touch there was Samuel Jeffrey. He was 0.1 ahead of Oscar Chaplin. There we go, that's the backup time, 3:03.69. Second to touch there, Tom Dennis. And this is heat 3 of the 200 metres individual medley. Line up in the third heat is William Lockwood from Hatfield. He's 10 years old. In lane 1, lane 2 is Daniel Delsey, who's 11 from Hemel. Lane 3 is Danny Foreman, who's 12 from Potters Bar. 4, Max Whelan, 13 from Berlin. 5, Oliver Tom, 12 from Otterton. And 2 11-year-olds. 6, James Gibson from Hemel. Lane 7, Rafferty May from Watford. And Archie Ran in lane 8 is 12 from Ware. 40.21, Archie in the lead. Looking very close though. It's changing now. First to turn there. Now in halfway stage on the backstroke. Good backstroke by Danny Foreman from Potters Bar in 3, and William Lockwood in lane 1 from Hatfield. And also coming through nicely, powerfully actually in lane 7, Rafferty May, as well as in lane 5. Oliver Tom, but first to turn is going to be at the halfway point. It's going to be Danny Foreman, 126.15, 127.62. Oliver Tom, second to turn in 5. Rafferty May, third at 127.8. Just ahead of Hatfield's William Lockwood on the far side in lane 1, who's going well on the breaststroke already, and he's looking like the best of the breaststrokers in lane 1. William Lockwood. Good breaststroke also Rafferty May of Watford in lane 7. But look at that first length from William Lockwood. Great breaststroke from the Hatfield swimmer. But Watford's Rafferty May also doing well in lane 7. And he's got himself comfortably now in the 2nd place. Now going up into 3rd place in lane 5 is Oliver Tom from Huddersfield. Just out ahead at the moment from Max Whelan. But he's going to be turning into the freestyle. William Lockwood turns with 2:18.98. 2:20 for Rafferty, then 2:21 Max Whelan, still in 3rd place against 2:23 for Oliver Tom. It's a lot closer than that. But in the lead, William Lockwood, head down, digging in on the freestyle. He turns, he's got about 2 metres. From now, lane 5, Oliver Tom in 2nd place for Huddersfield. But in the lead, William Lockwood having a great freestyle as well. Oliver Tom in 2nd, finishing fast. Rafferty May in lane 7 from Watford. Rafferty coming up very strong indeed in lane 7. Can he get on time to Oliver Tom? No doubt who's going to touch first. William Lockwood gets it. 2:58.91. Very close to 2nd place. What a great final length there. 3 minutes point 79. Rafferty May just getting at a 3 minutes point 95. Oliver Tom in 3rd place. Last 2 strokes in 2 for Daniel Belsey from Hemel, and he touches in 3:15 to complete that heat. Well done, swimmers. Have another notice of disqualification. Event 130, Heat 1, Lane 4. Event 130, Heat 1, Lane 4, disqualified for a technical infraction. And this is the men's 200 metres individual medley, Heat 4. So Heat 4 lineup is Toby Martin, he's 12 years old from Harpenden in 1. Lane 2, Edward Ormsby is 12 from Royston. Lane 3, Oliver Mann, who's 13 from St Albans. Lane 4, Samuel Barnes, who's 12 from Potters Bar. Lane 5 is Hugo Rabbits-Smith, who's 11 years old from Hatfield. Lane 6, Henry Catterfield, who's 13 from Hatfield. 2 more 13-year-olds. 7 is James Renton from Potters Bar. Lane 8, Dylan Morris from Watford. Best of the fly swimmers, very good fly by Toby Martin in lane 1, 37.98, 38.88, also a very good fly by Edward Ormsby from Royston. But now coming up well on the backstroke, Henry Catterfield from Hatfield in lane 6, and alongside him James Renton in Potters Bar. Still in the lead, Toby Martin, who led after the fly, had a great fly leg there, and alongside him Edward Ormsby from Royston. But on the opposite side of the pool coming up well, Potters Bar's James Renton and Henry Catterfield from Hatfield. James Renton's had a good backstroke, but coming up to the halfway turn, all turning into the breaststroke, 122.48, 123, 123.47. It's just in the lead is Toby Martin from Edward Ormsby, and from James Renton and Dylan Morris. But good breaststroke, Edward Ormsby from Royston looking very powerful. Turns with about 1.5 meters, that's very good in the breaststroke first leg. And behind him now James Renton from Potters Bar in lane 7. Pulling ahead now of Toby Martin in lane 1. Coming up now to the breast to free, very, very good breaststroke leg from Edward Ormsby. Excellent turn swim, 210.63, great breaststroke. And then James Renton, Potters Bar, 216, turns in second. 218s, lane 6 and 1. Henry Catterfield and Toby Martin, pretty nearly together. 220 and then 221 for Dylan, and then Samuel Barnett. 222, 223 for Oliver Mann and Hugo. Into the last 10 metres now. What a great freestyle as well. Royston's Edward Ormsby. Now he entered, 12-year-old entered at 2:59. Just look at that time on the clock. 2:49.14. 10 seconds inside his entry time. Second to touch, 2:53 for James Renton. He entered 3 minutes. Well done. 7 seconds of his time. 1:56 for Toby Martin, half-minute swimmer. Entered at 3:01, way under 2 minutes. 2:57 also for Dylan Morris, under 3 minutes. And also for lanes 6 and 4, Henry in 6 and Samuel in 4. Heat 5 of the 200 metres individual medley. Lane 6. Heat 5 got Theo Lim in lane 1, he's 13 from Watford. Two more 13-year-olds, Alexander Cleverber in lane 2, he's from Berkhamsted, and then Jake Moore in lane 3 is from Potters Bar. Lane 4, Daniel Harrison, 14-year-old from Ware, fastest entrant this heat at 2:48. Lane 5 is Ethan Ivor Chapman, who's 14 from St Albans. Lane 6 is George Prince, who's the fastest 11-year-old entered in the event, fastest entry time from Hatfield, 2:49. Lane 7 is Kobe Cornwell, who's 12 from Potters Bar, and Joseph O'Hara in 8 is 13 from Hatfield. 36.19. Daniel Harrison, first serve from Ware. 36.55. Second is Kobe Cornwell after the fly. We can already see Daniel Harrison looking good on the backstroke too. Having an excellent backstroke. Also going well, Kobe Cornwell looking good on backstroke. These two just a little bit clear of the others at the moment, but third place hotly contested at the moment. We've got a good swim for Alexander Cleverboard, but coming up alongside him is Jake Moore. And also in lane 5, moving up, Ethan Ivor Chapman. But in the lead still, Daniel Harrison having a great swim. Turns it into the breaststroke, 1:18.33. 1:20 for Kobe Cornwell, 1:20 also behind him for Alexander Cleverboard. 1:21 at the halfway point with Jake Moore, as well as lane 5, Ethan Ivor Chapman. The others on 1:24s and 1:29 for Joseph O'Hara. He's looking good on the breaststroke too. He doesn't seem to have a weak stroke here, a leader. Daniel going extremely well, Ware swimmer. And he's 14 years old. So remember, he's got an entry time of 2:48. If you look at the clock up there, he looks like he's going to be way inside that. Good breaststroke coming through here also for George Prince. He's the 11-year-old, fastest 11-year-old entry in the event, and he's come right through. Excellent breaststroke by George. Turns at 2:10. 2:10 just ahead of him was Jake Moore in lane 3. And then 2:12, turning behind those, was Alexander in lane 2. Our leader though, way clear, turns at 2:26. It's the final length of freestyle. 11-year-old going extremely well in lane 6. George Prince of Hatfield entered at 2:49. It's the fastest 11-year-old entry, but the winner touches in 2:43. And that's Daniel Harrison ends at 2:48, 5 seconds of his entry time. 2:48.74, second to touch there, Jake Moore into 2:48 as well, so 2:49.79, third to touch, George Prince. And that's pretty much bang on his entry time. Last couple of strokes for Joseph. So touches there, so it completes heat 5. And this is heat 6 of the 200 metres individual medley. just asked us, someone has inadvertently picked up from lane 4, I think it was, in one of the heats just gone, a blue counties top from a young lad who's just swum, and he left it there and it's disappeared. So if you've inadvertently picked up a blue counties top, obviously that's quite important on this first week, can you please bring it back down to the announcers table or bring down the announcement, and I will try and get it back to our swimmer. So could you just check you have got the right top if you've picked it up by accident. In heat 6 in the lead, it's Jake Gord. The lineup is Jason Ho in 1, who's 13 from Hatfield, lane 2. Ryan Wall, who's 12 from Royston, lane 3. Jake Williamson, who's 14 from Hatfield, 4. Ethan Howard, 12 from Potters Bar. Then all 14-year-olds, lane 5. Henry Newbrickham from Hemel Hempstead, lane 6. Jake Gord from Watford, lane 7. Felix Harrow from Harpenden, and lane 8. Jack Barnard from Potters Bar. So again, if you could just check in case you inadvertently picked up the wrong counties top, it will have been in the last 3 heats of this event. So any swimmers in the last 3 heats, please. Halfway, 1:15 in the lead. Jake Gord from Watford going extremely well, but right up behind him now, Ethan Howard from Potters Bar in lane 4 in the breaststroke. These two just fractionally clear at the moment from Ryan Wall from Royston in 2, and coming alongside them, Jake Williamson from Hatfield in 3. Going to the front now though, Ethan Howard in lane 4 from Potters Bar. But actually he's only just in the lead. Jake in 6 is hanging in there, going well. And Jake is going very well still in lane 6. He's holding off the sprint by Henry Newbrickham in lane 5, who's having a very, very good breaststroke. And Henry's the fastest of the breaststrokers, without a doubt, up into 2nd place, going to go ahead of Ryan. But turning first, 2:05 for Ethan Howard. Jake Gord turning second there. Ryan Wall just ahead of Henry Newbrickham, and then Jake Gord. Very, very close at the front though. This is going to be a much tighter race than we've seen in some of the others. Absolutely together. Ethan Howard in 5, Henry in lane, Ethan in 4 rather, Henry in 5. And it's Henry in 5 who's just ahead of Ethan. And Ethan's responding, and a good sprint also from Ryan Wall in 2. Ryan coming through strongly, but it looks like it's going to be Henry who's going to take this in a time of 2:40.99, 2:41.66. Second a touch there. Fast finish from Ryan Hall. Great finish there. Just ahead of 3rd place. It's Jake Williamson. We'll wait to see the backup times. Backup time will come up, and then we'll see what Ethan Howard's time was when we finish. There we see it, 2:41.55 in 2nd place, just ahead of Ryan Wall. Heat 7 of the men's 200 metres individual medley. Line up on this one, he's got Royal Shepherd in lane 1, who's 15 from Harpenden. Lane 2, a 13-year-old, Hatfield's Cub Madison. Lane 3 is William Fawcett, who's 12 years old from Watford. Lane 4, William Buckley, 13 from Watford. Lane 5, Charlie Taverner, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 6 is Nathan Whiting, who's 14 from Hemel. 13-year-old Oliver Blight in lane 7 is from Hatfield, and then Hoddesdon's Zach Hosier in lane 8 is 15. 33.38. Very good fly by Zach Hosier in lane 8 from Hoddesdon. Close behind him, Nathan in 6, Charlie Taverner in 5, and Rule over in lane 1 from Harpenden. Still in the lead though, Zach Hosier in lane 8. 15-year-old Hoddesdon swimmer, and he looks the best on the backstroke as well. Good fly, very good back. Sometimes indicative of not so good on the breaststroke, but we'll see. And in 2nd place at the moment is Charlie Taverner in lane 5 ahead of Nathan. Zach turning first, 1:15.35. Charlie at 1:17.82, 1:18.99. Third, there was Rawle actually just ahead of William Buckley. And then 119 for Nathan Whiting. Up on 120. And still in the lead, Zach Hosier hanging on to that. And Zach is doing well on the breaststroke, being wheeled in, just gently reeled in lane 5 by Charlie Taverner from Watford. Charlie's getting right up there. We can see how sometimes the fly and backswim is not quite so good on the breast. And it's now going to be Charlie Taverner who is going to be in the lead going into the final freestyle 50, 202, but 202 also from Zach Hosier. 204 right behind them, Cub Madison, and 207 Zach Oliver Bright. 207 also Royal Shepherd. And this is going to be very close, and Zach has gone back into the lead on the freestyle. It's Zach Hosier in lane 8, a great freestyle first leg. He's well clear in the second leg, excellent freestyle. Strong swim by Cub Madison in 2 going after Charlie Taverner. But look at this by Zach Hosier, entered at 2:45, goes 2:37.35. Great swim. 2:39.63. Second to touch there for Charlie Taverner. And then 2:40.30. Third for Cub Madison. Notice of disqualification. Event 130. Heat 6. Lane 3. Event 130. Heat 6. Lane 3 disqualified for a technical infraction. This is Heat 8 of the men's 200 metres individual medley. Joel Peterson is the fastest 12-year-old entered the event. He's in lane 1 from Hatfield, entered at 2:40.66. So let's keep an eye on his time. Lane 2 is Daniel Lord, who's the 14 from Watford. Lane 3, Nathaniel Mapley, for 13 from St Albans. Got 2 teammates alongside him. In lane 4, Kieran Burkitt is 14, and in lane 5, James Coleman is 14. Lane 6 is Nathaniel Hopkins, who's 15 from Verulam. Lane 7, Patrick Kovar, who's 15 from Watford, and the fastest 13-year-old entered in the event, 2:41, is Costa's Daniel Hollis in lane 8. 32.68, 32.77, pretty close. Patrick Kovar just ahead of James Coleman after the fly. But now coming up on the backstroke as well is Daniel Lord in lane 2. And also in lane 7 is Patrick Kovar. On the backstroke, still in lane 4. It's Kieran Burkitt come through, very good backstroke ahead of James Coleman. Great one from Kieran there, turns at 1:10, 1:12 for James, 1:13 behind them Patrick Kovar, 1:14.7 is Nathaniel Hopkins, and 1:15.6 at the halfway Daniel Lord. A couple on 1:17s, then 1:19. Last turn is Daniel Hollis, but still holding on to the lead in lane 4 on the breaststroke. Kieran Burkitt, ahead of his teammates. 2 Costa swimmers together in the lead at the moment. And going after them, Verulam's Nathaniel Hopkins. Verulam having a good swim, but also Watford's Patrick Kovar having a good swim in the breaststroke. But in the lead, Kieran Burkitt turns 1:58.96, just ahead of Verulam's Nathaniel Hopkins. Had a great swim there, turning his second 2:01, and then 2:01.65 James Coleman, and 2:01.80 Nathaniel Mapley, so it was that close. 25 to go, 2:17 for the leader, Kieran Burkitt. Entered at 2:35, 14-year-old, looking very good on the freestyle. Going after him in lane 3, Nathaniel Mapley, a teammate. But let's look at Kieran's time. 2:34.26 for Kieran Burkitt. Excellent swim, 2:36.41. Second a touch there from Nathaniel Mapley. Entered 2:37, and 2:37.92 for Nathaniel Hopkins. Entered 2:37. So again, about on his entry time. No notice of disqualification, I'm afraid. Event 130, Heat 7, Lane 5. Event 130, Heat 7, Lane 5. disqualified for a technical infraction. This is heat 9 of the 200 metres individual medley. Heat 9, Adam Hazelwood in lane 1 is 15 from Bishop's Dorset. Lane 2, Oliver Carpenter is 14 from Costa. And a row of more 14-year-olds. In 3 is Enzo Lim from Watford, and 4 Sam Pyfage from Tring, and 5 James Gisborne from Bishop's Dorset. Lane 6, Noah Cornwell, who is 15 from Potts Park. Another 14-year-old in 7 is Luke Flint from Watford, and in Stevenage is Dylan Cole. In lane 8 is 15. 31.22, very good fly from Sam Pyfinch from Tring. There's a 230, very powerful on the fly. Well clear, 32s behind him for 5 and 6. James in 5 and Noah in 6. Sam looking very good on the backstroke too. So Sam, the Tring swimmer, 14-year-old, entered at 2:30. And a good backstroke. Oliver Carpenter in lane 2, excellent backstroke. Sam turns first at 67. 70 seconds for Oliver in lane 2, and James in 5. 71 seconds for Noah Gormore in 6, and then 72s for Enzo in 3, and Dylan in lane 8. Sam good on the breaststroke as well, but going after him, Oliver Carpenter. Costa swimmer in lane 2, looking good on the breaststroke. And also in lane 5, James Gisborne is going after him too. These 3, couple of metres clear of the chasing pack led by Noah Cornwall. But it's Sam, only just in the lead now. 3 to go. He's strong on the freestyle. Turns at 154. Also 154, right behind him. We've got Oliver Carpenter in 2. Sam got a metre clear of Oliver with only 25 metres to go. Behind these is James Gisborne in lane 5 for Bishop Stortford. So remember, Sam's entry time is 2:30.46. Look at the clock. Great time here. 2:26.13. Very close behind him, 2:28.89, second a touch there, Oliver Carpenter, and 1/100th of a second behind him, 2:28.90 was James Gisborne. All under the 2:30s. This is heat 10 of the 200 metres individual medley. Need to get soaked at some point. Heat 10, lane 1 is Oscar Bryce, who's 15 from Zormers, and the fastest 14-year-old entrant in the event, Peter Sikoska from Hatfield. He's entered 2:26 in lane 2. Lane 3 is Yuto Watanabe, who's 15 from Hatfield. 4, Daniel Chanels, who's 16 from Berkhamsted. 5, Harry Buffnott, who's 16 from Harpenden. And 3 15-year-olds, Keaton Ratch in 6 from Watford. Alan Sonny in lane 7 from Hatfield, and Watford's Arvin Rodriguez in lane 8, who just soaked us on the start. 30 seconds for Peters in lane 2 and Daniel in lane 4. But right behind those, you can see Harry Arbuthnott in lane 5 and Keaton Ratch in lane 6. But still just in the lead here. Lane 4. Daniel Chanels from Berkhamsted, but good backstroke from Watford's Keaton Ratch. He's come through right up close to him, but leader turns at 67, Keaton 68, 69s for 2 and 5. Peter just ahead of Harry Arbuthnott. 70 seconds at halfway for Yuto in lane 3 and Oscar in lane 1, and then 73 for Arvin Rodriguez and 77. Very close at the front though. Coming down the second length of the breaststroke. Just starting to go to the front, Peter Sikoska in lane 2. And Peter looks like the most powerful breaststroker of these three, but also coming through. Keaton Ratch trying to get up there alongside Daniel, but in the lead. Great swim there on the breaststroke. 151 for Peter Sikoska. 153s pretty much together for Daniel and Keaton. 153 right behind them though also. For two other swimmers, we've got a very good race on now into the final length of the freestyle. In the lead, it's Peter Sikoska in lane 2. And Peter looks like he might be powerful enough to hold off Daniel in lane 4. Peter Sikoska's entry time is 2:26. Remember, he's 14. Goes 2:24.72 for the fastest 14-year-old entrant. 2:26.68 second there for Daniel Chanels, and at 2:25, 2:29.02 for Keaton Ratch. This is the penultimate heat, heat 11 of the men's 200 metres individual medley. Line-up heat 11, Alexander Hall is 16 from St Albans in lane 1. Two teammates alongside him in lane 2 is Daniel Martin, who's 16, and lane 3, Joseph Richardson, who's 18. Lane 4, fastest entry in this heat is Daniel English, 17 from Hitchin, entered at 2:17. Lane 5, Matthias Morse, who's 16 from Hemel. Lane 6, Zach Patel, who's 18 from Berkhamsted. 7 is Don McCarthy, who's 17 from Uddingston, and 19-year-old Callum Davis. Lane 8 is from Bishop Stortford. 28.64, so good one from Callum Davis. 29s from lanes from Zach Patel and Daniel English behind him. See how close this is. Still in the lead though, it's Callum Davis in lane 8. Bishop Stortford swimmer looking very, very good at the moment. But now coming up into second, a great backstroke by Daniel Martin from Costa in lane 2. And also now coming through in lane 4 is Daniel English. And it's going to be close between Daniel Martin and Callum, but Callum just in the lead at halfway, 65.04, 66.51 for Daniel, 66.74 third to turn there was Daniel English, and 67 for Joseph Richardson. Callum Davis looking good on the breaststroke. He's still got about a half a metre from 4 swimmers. Lanes 2, 3, 4 and 5 turned absolutely together. But coming through the strongest now, Matthias Morse from Hemel Hempstead. And in lane 3, Joseph Richardson. And they're just overhauling Callum Davis. And you've got 4 swimmers who are going to turn almost together at 1:47, 1:48. Just in the lead now with just the 3 to go. Joseph Richardson ahead of Matthias Morse and Daniel English. And then Callum in lane 8. And 3 swimmers turn absolutely together at 2:05 into the final 25 metres of the freestyle. Callum just behind them, but it's a great swim here between. We've got in lane 3 Joseph, 4 Daniel, lane 5 Matthias, and that is the order it goes. 2:19.12 first to touch, Joseph Richardson, then 2:19.27 second was Daniel English, and 2:19.39. Very, very close behind them. Matthias Morse from Hemel. Which brings us to the final heat of today's gala, and that is heat 12 of the men's 200 metres individual medley. Heat 12, lane 1 is Yannick Wilson, who is 17 from Costa. Lane 2, Michael Tomaseski, who's 15 from Hatfield. Lane 3, Thomas Ogden, who is the fastest 15-year-old entrant. He's from Bishop Stortford, and Thomas has entered at 2:14.8. 4, William Loverman, who's 19 from Costa. Lane 5, Callum Williston, 18 from Cheshunt. 6, Nicholas Boto, 17 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 7, Jude Lydiard, who's 18 from Costa, and 15-year-old Bishop Stortford's Mehdi El Nasser is in lane 8. 27.97 in the lead at the flyer. Jude Lydiard, you know, he's a very good fly swimmer. Behind him a good backstroker, Michael Komazeski over in lane 2. But also, I think how good Jude is. He's very, very good on the back too. Seen this before? Jude entered 2:15 and he's got 1.5 meters halfway. 59, that's very quick. 62.14, lane 2 in second. Michael, 62 also, lane 5. Callum Wollaston had a good back there. 64, halfway. Thomas Ogden, 65 and 66 and 67 behind them. Jude Lydiard still in the lead, having a cracking swim. Jude being chased very hard now by Callum Wollaston in 5. Callum coming through well on the breaststroke. Right up there with Michael Komazeski. Callum in head, but Callum's the fastest on the breaststroke, but it's still Jude who's going to turn with Callum, absolutely together, and Michael right behind them. There's nothing to choose between these three into the freestyle. Just 30 metres of freestyle to go, and to the front, Jude Lydiard just ahead of Callum Wollaston. It's Jude in 7, Callum in 5, and Michael over there in lane 2. These three just a bit clear. Callum coming back very strongly, but Jude's going to hold him. Jude gets it there, 2:11.39, great finish. That's the way to finish, just out-touched Callum, 2:11.76, great finish by Callum, couldn't quite get there. Third place, 2:12.31, is Michael Komazeski. So, well done swimmers, please clear the pool to the side. Swimmers, make your way to the side of the pool, and that completes a very exciting day's swimming. We're back again tomorrow, same start time, I believe, 8:30 warm-up. So we'll see you tomorrow. Can you make sure you pick up all of your rubbish around you? If there's any rubbish around your area, could you please put it in the bin bags around you and in the spectator area? If you see any, just pick it up and drop it in the bins. There's plenty of capacity. There's bin bags on the front here as well, on the front and the back of the glass rail. Do please pick up any rubbish. Can you pick up all of your team stuff around your area? Please don't leave it here. We don't want to have to go through lost property tomorrow. Thank you very much to everyone who's helped today, all of the officials. A very big thank you. If you're not here tomorrow, can I say on behalf of Swim England Hertfordshire, a very big thank you, and also to all of the organisers. Unfortunately, we have a last disqualification. I think it's the last one. Heat 130. Event 130, Heat 12, Lane 1. Event 130, Heat 12, Lane 1, disqualified for a technical infraction. Also, can you check, once again, I don't know if it has been handed in, can you check, particularly if you're one of the men in the last event, in the first few heats of the last event, can you just check that you didn't pick up by accident, particularly in the first 5 heats of the 200 iron, the men's 200 iron. Please check you didn't inadvertently pick up a county hoodie, a brand spanking new county hoodie. One of the swimmers went to get his one when he finished swimming and it had been taken by mistake, I'm absolutely sure. Can you please check you've got the right one? If you haven't, if you bring it back and let us have it back tomorrow, we'll try and get it back to that swimmer. Can you also, if you've won medals today, very well done. Can you please go and collect your medals? Janet is absolutely desperate to get home before around about 11 o'clock tonight. She will wait here for 2 hours for anyone who has got any medals to be presented, but no longer than 11 o'clock.